Hello and welcome, my name's Teresa and you have landed on my cosy knitting corner where you will find knitting, crochet, the odd bit of weaving and the odd bit of spinning and a little bit of chit chat. I was trying to get this video out or do a video earlier in the week. I tried Saturday, I tried Sunday, Monday and yesterday and nothing worked. So I'm having a go today, so hopefully I can do a catch up on my Doodleknit blanket, which I know a few of you have been following. And so let's start with my never before done project bag. I've bought a few on Etsy and then I thought, right, I'll give it a go. My first one was a total disaster. I followed some YouTube videos. I don't know if I was too impatient. As I said before, I've done Austrian blinds, curtains, swags and tails back in the 70s and 80s. 20 metres of material at a time, no problem. But this just got me. Anyway, I shall show you my first disaster. That's it. I got so far, I managed to do the box pockets and I managed to do the inside lining. When I put the backing on to stiffen it up, I ran the iron across and I shouldn't have done that, so I should just really just pressed it and held it for 6 to 10 seconds for the lining to adhere to it. But I ended up with, you can see, striations. So I sort of gave up and got a bit annoyed with myself for being impatient because I'd bought a metre of this material and a metre of that. And I realised afterwards that maybe I should have got a stiffer material. Anyway, moving forward, I was in good old Dunelm in the UK and I happened across, where's my bag? Tea towels, and a set of 3 tea towels caught my sight and they were £6 for the 3, and I looked at it and I thought, oh, that's interesting. I wonder if that would work better for my project bag. So I got my good old trusted sewing machine out and whoops, let's move it back. There it is. And I actually managed it. And for £6, I am really chuffed. I've got a tea towel left over as well, which is just a generic beige waffle one, which I think hubby's going to nab for his bits and pieces in his shed. Oh, there's a bit of cotton on there. Let's move that out the way. Oh, I have cut it off, haven't I? Yeah. So I'm pretty pleased. We're not too bad. Didn't quite get it to tie up there. 1/4 inch out. Should have taken a bit more time with that, I suppose. And that one is a lot better. So they're all tied up. And then I managed to do the interior box as well. And then I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do the handles. So I thought, I looked at a couple of my drawstring ones that I've got and wasn't what I wanted. So anyway, where the edges of the original tea towels were and what I cut off to get the pattern centered where I wanted it, actually that size is better because you can see the fox and the cute tortoise and the owl. And what else we got? Oh, I assume they're robins. And what else is there? I think there's a rabbit somewhere. Oh yeah, there's a couple of hares down the bottom. And I just sort of did alternating back and front. And yeah, I'm pleased for my first one. Whether I'll make one again, I don't know, because I must admit I do enjoy supporting the independent makers on Etsy. for £6. I'm not moaning, so I was really pleased with that. And then in it I am keeping, you know, I showed you the yarn, hang on, what have I dropped? Oh, that can stay down there. The yarn that I got half price for £5 from Wool Warehouse, and it's for Christmas socks. Should have been £10, and it's Yarn Smith merino. It's really, really soft, 4-ply, and I couldn't wait. I cast on for my socks. So this is it so far, and I think I'm liking the way the colourway is coming out. I did a bigger what do you call it, cuff on it, and then I just did a little 2x2x2 pattern to give it stretch. And then I am going to try the afterthought heel. So at the moment I'm just knitting it until it's long enough for my foot size, and then I'll have a go. And I am also using the Addy Sockwonder needles, which funny enough, when I used them before a few years back, I didn't get on with them, but now for some reason they're working for me really well. And it's really weird because if you're left-handed, there's, let's see if I can show you, there's a longer needle and a shorter needle. Don't ask me why, I have no idea, but apparently if you're left-handed you put the longer needle in if you're left-handed. If you're right-handed you put it, but then that confused me because I thought, well, that would only work if you knit right-handed. So yeah, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but yeah, before I did get quite a bit of arthritic pain in my fingers. I know I'm doing this at a funny angle, but I just wanted to sort of quickly show you. Hang on, there we go, that's better, isn't it? Camera work again, not my forte, but never mind, I'm sure you get the gist. So that is it there. So that is sitting proudly in my little sock bag. So if you fancy making one, £6, a couple of tea towels from Dunelm. Yeah, I might do another one, I don't know. So that was that. And then what else I've been up to? Oh, quickly, because people were asking me and wishing me well for my my bilateral sciatica. I am under the MSK musculoskeletal thingy, and my x-rays, no, my MRI came up with they're not compressed, but they're a bit naughty, so I think it means that they're not poking out and touching the spinal cord. But I've got a couple in my lumbar region, I've got a couple in my thoracic region, which as I understand it is your bra region, and I've got a couple in my neck, which I already knew about. And then they found a cyst on the end of my spinal cord, so they're putting me forward to an AP something. Anyway, it's that's advanced physio practitioner, which I think deals in spines more and goes and looks at it all and everything else. So anyway, that's where I am at the moment. So they wanted to give me some really strong painkillers, which, because I had brain surgery several years back, they could impair my cognitive, so I'm having to just rely on good old Nurofen for the time being. I had magnesium baths and just sort of get myself sorted, which I generally do anyway. So that's that little bit. So I'll go back to the blanket. The blanket is coming, oh, let me move my chair. The blanket's coming on really well, and I wanted to get a couple of bits finished before I showed you. So let's go through. Where was I last time? I cannot remember. So hang on, have I finished? No, I was in the middle of the row there and I should have got it finished, but never mind. So let's double it up. It's doubled up at the moment. So as you can see, that was the raindrops, the trees, the coffee mugs, the houses, some indescribable flowers, the sheep, the coffee cans and kettle, the hearts, just a pattern, the sheep, a couple of bits of made up because I was a bit bored. So I just sort of put those in. And then the owls. The owls are so cute. I'm really pleased with those. Right, let's get this. And I still haven't got any needle stoppers, which I must do. So how can I show you this? Wait a minute. Right, there's the owls. How cool are they? I'm loving those. They're really good. I was thinking after I'd done them, maybe I should have done the actual feathers and that in a darker colour. But no, really, really pleased. And then it was a nondescript bit. And then I did some woolly hats and just sort of afterwards did some sort of little woolly pom-poms just to make it look better. I might put a little bit of orange in there, I don't know, I'm thinking about that. And then I have just finished the flowers. So yeah, it's coming on. I'm sort of a bit of out of a loss how long to make it. I've got half as much wool left again. So I mean, at the moment it's, hang on, let's measure it. Oh, let's pick my tape measure up. Let's measure it. It is at the moment, a minute, 20, 27, 36. So it's basically square at the moment because, so it's 36 by 36. So what do you reckon? I'm not struggling because I'm enjoying it, but there's some bits I enjoy better than others. Like I really enjoyed the flowers, and then the next bit I'm doing blue because I'm trying to work out colourways to keep it interesting. So I'm doing a few rows of blue and then I'm going to put some orange hearts in. Yeah, there's plenty to choose from in the Doodleknit book, but I think what's your thoughts? I love your input because I keep on going through and I must admit I'm struggling what to choose next. I mean, the orange stands out, and I like the red. I like the buff. Yeah, so any thoughts I would gratefully receive. Thank you very much indeed. What else? And that's really a little short and sweet one what I've got to show you. Yeah, the socks, my bag. No, just life tooting it along. Hubby's enjoying his log cabin. I haven't been able to work out to do a decent video to show that. Garden's coming along nicely. I did promise that I was going, hang on, just to get my knitting up while I chat to you. Garden's coming along nicely. I'll drop you down a little bit. Hang on. Whee. Go for a ride. Is that better? No, we need to go up a bit. Oh, shaking you, sorry. Duh. Garden's coming along nicely. Put some tomatoes in, which didn't take. I think it was the compost we used. And then we put some courgettes in and they didn't take. So we've had to replant those. So we've replanted tomatoes and they've taken. We've got some flowers. We put a bird table out and we're really pleased, bearing in mind it's a new build, that we have got starlings coming in, rooks as well, of course, greedy little blighters they are, and a couple of pigeons, but it's the starlings and, oh, 2 blackbirds that sing on the fence, which is absolutely lovely. And, oh, then we put, we went into the range in the UK and they had some red nesting boxes with ER on the front, like a post box. So we thought, well, that would be a bit of fun, put that in the garden. And we've had 2 sets of blue tits checking it out. Yeah, so I don't know whether they're going to do anything. I have to wait and see on that one. My cherry tree is coming to cherries, so once they come out, the birds are going to get those. I put a couple of clematis in. In fact, I put loads in, and I would try and do, well, I did tell the truth, I did try and do a little video the other day, and bearing in mind we put in 10 trees when we moved in October. We put 3 pencil cherry blossoms, we put 2 eucalyptus, we put in Hosteria, I think it's called. It's an Australian evergreen. What else do we put? Oh, we bought, I don't know if I said this on the last vlog. There was a tree that they didn't know what it was. And forgive me if I've already told you this. But it was called a tulip tree. Apparently it grows quite big. And that is funny because we live not far from Chichester, but about 6 miles from Arundel, and our little area, it's only 200, I think it's 200 feet above sea level from right down to the seafront, but it gets very windy. And I googled it and I didn't realise that Arundel in Sussex is known as a wind funnel because of the jet stream or something. And then, I did do a video of it, but I haven't put it up yet because I reviewed it and I thought, oh, yarn shops are yarn shops are yarn shops. But we went to Steyning in Sussex on Saturday. So if you're ever down this way, it's a town in, well, it's on, I don't know if it's actually in the National Downs or not, or if it's classed on the edge of it. But it was lovely. It's a town, but it's very much a village in its own right, and lovely tea rooms, coffee shops, and then they've got a lovely walkway with all little indie shops, which is all cobbled. And if you're anything over like 5'6", then you have to bend your head because it's it was built back in the day when the average height was about 4'10", I think. Yes, and it was lovely. It had a lovely vibe. And anyway, going back to the wool shop, it's called the Sussex Yarn something. Well, if you Google it, it's called the Sussex Yarn something. And yeah, quite interesting in there. She had some yarn, which a lady in the area has a small flock of sheep, and this lady, the wool shop owner, has taken on the skeins of yarn. I mean, at the moment, I think she just has the colours of the sheep. I think there was black, brown and white, and they were, oh, forgive me, I did look at the name of the sheep, and it will come to me, I'm sure, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. And then she had a lot of croft yarn, Shetland, which was really nice, which really got me interested. And I thought, oh, came home and started, like you do, looking at patterns on Ravelry, and I thought, no, I must get my blanket finished, and then I want to start my other 2 knits, or I might leave those later on for the year. But I've still got a long way to go with my blanket. And then what else has been happening? Oh yeah, only people of a certain age will get this. I was out shopping with hubby, and a lady was sort of in front of us, but to the left. And she put her arm out in front of our trolley and went, one minute, she went like that and went like that. I just burst out laughing, and she looked at me. She went, well, you must be of the age where you used to put your hand out the car to signal whether you're going, I can't remember, left, right, slowing down or turning round. I can't remember the signals there. And I said, yeah, when I was a little girl, my mum and dad had a noddy car. They had a little black Austin, I think it was. And, you know, the back, I don't know if it had a back door. Might have done, I can't remember. But I know it was all leather, plastic inside. And mum and dad never had much money, so it stopped and started, stopped and started. In fact, I remember going down to, I'll go back to the other story in a minute. We used to go down to Cornwall as a family quite a bit, and in those days it would take 8 or 9 hours. We're stopping and starting. Then we used to go down in the Ford Anglia, me and my 2 younger brothers, and invariably the car would break down and we couldn't get back home again. So 9 times out of 10 when we used to go down once a year, we had to go back on a coach, and Dad would have to hop home in the car, stopping and starting. Could you imagine it nowadays? But yeah, anyway, going back to this little black, what I used to call a noddy car, it used to have the little, those of a certain age will remember the little orange indicators that used to flip out the side. Used to be on the side bit between the first front door and the back door. And then Dad used to say, right, if I was sitting in the front, in those days it wasn't so politically correct that you had to sit with a seatbelt because they didn't have them. And Dad would take me to school. He said, right, put your hand out the window to let the person behind that you're turning left. And out my arm would go, like that, turning left. Oh my goodness me. It's weird, isn't it, all those things. And then my daughter, who's 45, she was we were talking about the house that we lived in for 18 years when they were younger. And anyway, back in the day, I'll just sit and do my knitting a bit. Back in the day, I used to buy lots of knickknacks from shops. I used to buy salts, you know, they're little glass salts that you used to put in the table, cut glass. I think I used to pay about £1 or £1.50 for them. Now I think you have to pay about £20 for one. Anyway, I used to collect those, and I used to collect, I can't remember, the little porcelain flowers. Can't remember what the company was that used to make them. And I was into everything Victorian. Used to love it. Even had sort of like, I remember we had a house where I'd put a Victorian thick curtain at the door and everything else. Anyway, this particular place I saw and fell in love, and it wasn't Victorian, it was Edwardian, and it was an Edwardian lace collar to go over a lady's dress, and so it would just go over the shoulders and it would pin up with a little brooch. And then I found a couple of little gold painted cherubs. So I thought, right, I'll buy that, took it home and sort of placed it over the cupboard in one of the bedrooms. And I think one of the girls had left home by then, so I think it had been her bedroom. And anyway, hubby walked in, he went, oh, I don't like those cherubs, they freak me out. A couple of days later, I walked in and I thought, oh, is the window open? And it was sort of like really cold in there, really icy cold. And I sort of looked around and I thought, no, there's no window open. Called down to hubby, have you got a window open, a door open downstairs? No. And this was in about June, so we weren't talking winter time, but you still get that odd chill in the air, actually like it is today out. We went to Chish's today and it was 16, but that wind was really cold. Anyway, so thought nothing about it, but then next couple of days hubby said, can you take that shawl down? He said that bedroom is really cold. Now he doesn't believe in this sort of thing, and neither did I. And anyway, he went, it spooked. And I was like, that'd be daft, it's not spooked, it's just a beautiful lace Edwardian shawl. And he was like, yeah, but you don't know who it belonged to. He said, you don't know who was wearing it, yada, yada, yada. So I poo-pooed it. And do you know what? I wouldn't take it down until it really got to me. And it stayed up for about 2 months, I think. But I kid you not, every time that I walked into that room, it was cold. Cold. No warmth, no nothing. The rest of the house was fine. The bedroom next door was fine. But that room was cold. So in the end, I thought, whether I believe in this or not, I was feeling it. My hubby was feeling it. When my daughter came round, she felt it and she went, ooh, spiky spooks, Mum. It's coming from that collar. So yeah, I did get rid of it and I took it down the charity shop and all wrapped up in packaging and said, it is a beautiful, I mean, it was exquisite. It was a beautiful cream and the lace was exquisite. And it had all a scalloped edge and everything. And went home. The room was back to normal. Same temperature as the rest of the house. So who knows? Anyway, my lovelies, I'm going to leave you on that. I hope you're all well. And till next time, take care. Enjoy the summer, which I think is on its way. Enjoy your gardening, enjoy your knitting, enjoy your crochet, enjoy your chit-chats. Thanks for stopping by and I'll see you next time. Take care. Mwah! Bye. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.